Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for everybody that has been tuning in and watching my videos and liking and supporting. I truly appreciate it. It really encourages me to just, keep uh, posting and creating content for you guys. So thank you so much. Today we are going to dive into something for my postpartum new moms, something that they can be aware of, or for other people who know postpartum new moms, so they know that, how they can help and be aware of if they know somebody. These are just like 6 quiet signs that, that show that, that you need help, that you need a lot more support, that you need extra support. And these signs don't mean that you are failing as a mom. It just means that you are carrying a lot, and that there is support for you, and that you deserve a lot of support and to be seen and to be loved, to be validated. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the first sign. Sign number one is I'm fine is your answer to everything. Saying it is easier than actually saying the truth, and masking how you really feel really takes a lot of energy that you cannot spare. And the people that love you can't help you with what you really need. So it is really important and is good for you and for the people who are asking you what if you are okay, what you need, to really tell them how you really feel. So a gentle truth I would like to point out to you is you are allowed to give a real answer. Believe it or not, a lot of women, are afraid to share how they really feel, and they just mask it and smile and act as if everything is okay. And, the answer to everything is, I'm fine. I'm good. Everything is good, because they feel like they will be a burden if they say the real answer. But I just want to let you know that, tell a lot of women tend to go online and, vent, to a bunch of strangers, which is fine if you are in a group that is open to that, and that is a safe space. But a lot of women don't have somebody that they feel safe to tell that, that knows and loves them. So I just want to remind you, any new moms that are out there, or any moms or any women that know somebody who is going through postpartum, that it is okay to give a real answer. They may not be able to help you know with the exact thing that you need, but they may know somebody who can help you, or they can give some sort of support. So give them a chance to help you. Number two is that the tears do not stop after week 2. Baby blues lift on their own after about day 14. Heaviness, emptiness, or anxiety that lingers past that point isn't a character flaw. It's a treatable condition that affects 1 in 7 mothers. So if you are experiencing a lot of heaviness and you're feeling empty, you're just continuously crying after like 14 days, make sure that, you seek help, talk to your doctor, seek professional help, because it is important to be an advocate for your health, and to realize, if you're feeling just really different and it's just not lifting what you're going through. Like I said, after day 14, the tears do not stop. Make sure to seek help. Lingering isn't your fault, it's a signal. Sign number 3 is baby is asleep and your mind is not resting. Lying exhausted but wide awake, rehearsing worries, checking the monitor again, racing mind that steals the sleep that you finally will get, is a hallmark of postpartum anxiety. I remember this, like there are times when I would be constantly checking the baby monitor to make sure the baby's okay, and not taking that time to take a nap as well, or to rest as well, and just, and just put my mind at ease. If you do not, work on that, or realize that that's a problem, it is a sign of postpartum anxiety. And I hear of a lot of women who struggle with this for months. It gets worse and worse when you do not recognize what is going on. A gentle truth I would like to say is rest should feel possible. If it doesn't say so, pray over your baby. I know that, yes, it's not possible to sleep when the baby sleeps, because the nurses and the doctors will tell you that when after you give birth, to one of the advice they give is like, take a nap when the baby is napping, sleep when the baby's sleeping. I understand that is unrealistic, but there should be times when the baby's sleeping that you can rest. Maybe not physically sleeping, but you can keep your mind at ease. You can do things that you maybe put off. I would clean with the baby sleeping, and that you are at ease and that your mind is not constantly worrying about the baby, because that the baby's fine, the baby's safe, that the baby is in eye view, or you have the monitor. So another thing I would suggest is pray over your baby. As you lay your baby down to sleep, pray over your baby, and just be rest assured that even though you are not in the room with the baby, God is with your baby. God will protect you and the baby, and everything will be okay, and you can just rest your mind. And also pray over your mind. Pray for that peace that surpasses your understanding, that peace that comes from God and not from the world, so that you can rest and that you do not develop postpartum anxiety. Sign number 4, your body feels worse and not better. Healing should trend gently upward week to week. Pain that grows, bleeding that returns heavier, or a fever is your body requesting a checkup promptly and without apology. So if you feeling that you are not getting better week by week, make sure to reach out to your doctor. Don't hesitate. Don't feel like you're being over dramatic, or you just worrying over nothing. Make sure you do seek help. Go through truth I will share is just in case is always reason enough to call. So if you feel like something is wrong, listen to your gut, listen to your intuition, and make that call. It may be an inconvenience, but better inconvenience than to have worse issues down the line. Sign number 5, you can't remember your last real meal, or shower, or hour outside, or conversation that wasn't about feeding, about your baby, or about anything that has to do with your baby. That's not a discipline problem. It's a hands problem, meaning recovery was never designed to be done alone. A gentle reminder, needing practical help is human, not weakness. This is a time where you really have to learn to ask for help. And this is something that I had to learn to do, because I was so used to doing things on my own, pretty independent. I've been that way since, I was in my early 20s. So asking for help also is, some women feel again that they don't want to be a burden. So they struggle to ask for help, or they don't want people to feel like they are helpless, or it's a sign of weakness. It's not a sign of weakness. We are, created to do things as a community, to, they always say it takes a village. It takes a lot of people to help you, because we can't do it all. We cannot do everything. You need help, and it's okay to ask people for help, to ask your partner, to ask family, to ask friends, whoever is available and and loves you and wants to be there for you. It's okay to ask them for help. I number 6, everyone asks about your baby but does not ask about you. Feeling invisible can easily turn into resentment, rage, or numbness. All signals, not flaws. You didn't stop mattering the day you became a mother. So if people are just only asking about the baby and not asking about you, that can turn into a problem. And this can lead to, women feeling isolated, can lead to, postpartum depression, and, a numbness, like you just focus on the baby and you just forget about yourself, and can lead to a lot of women feeling like they lost themselves. They're doing things for others and never doing anything for themselves. And, can just further lead to, like I said, resentment, and and the rage starts coming in. That's because they don't feel seen, they don't feel like anybody cares about them, and that it's all about the baby. And it's great that people ask about the baby, because you want people to be happy, to be happy about the baby, and want to care for the baby, or want to make sure the baby's okay. But it also is important if people ask you how you're doing. You gave birth to that baby, you went through a lot, you carried it, gave birth. It would be nice to people people to ask how you are doing. A gentle reminder is you deserve to be checked on too. Needing support isn't a sign you're failing, it's a sign you're carrying a lot. Um, Telling one person how you really are is the bravest thing you'll do this week, and the moment everything can begin to soften. So, one thing that I would love to share is that is very important when that I encourage, people is to, start to have a community offline. It is great that that we can have these wonderful communities online, people that we can fellowship with online and share stuff with online. But it is so enriching and a beautiful thing to have a community offline. We are at a time where women really need to have that, other women surrounding them and encouraging them, praying over them, and prophesying over them, and just knowing, the gifts and talents and walking with you through seasons that, that may be challenging or that you don't understand, or seasons of joy, different seasons, and they can walk beside you through those seasons and also help you to see a different perspective to what you are going through, and also you help them too. It's a two-way street. So I would like to add that also, that um, one of the things that I do will be helping women in my program is to create that offline community, because it's one of the things that has helped me through my postpartum journey, as a new mom, being around other mothers. And there's just something wonderful. There's just something. It's kind of helps with your healing and recovering too. Just being able to be around other women going through what you're going through, or who can, give you some wisdom or some knowledge of some things that they have overcome. And you can also help other women overcome some things that you have overcome. We've all overcome something, and you could be of value to someone else. And it's also amazing when you have women that can pray over you, that can surround you, and share your burden, because we are, as body of Christ, we're called to share our burdens, and not carry each other's burdens, but share each other's burden, and pray for each other. And there's a blessing in that, a blessing into the person that's being prayed over, and a blessing for the person that is praying for you. So it is truly, it is good. I would highly recommend, to pray to God about that, because a lot of women have anxiety going out there and being in spaces that they've never been in, and taking their baby with them in spaces where they don't know anybody, and to pray to God about that, to pray to give you the courage to go out there and meet new people, to help you to build, good friendships, and to meet genuine women that love the Lord, and that, that will be a good influence to you and your baby. And also to just to pray to God about, your fears about meeting other women, and and just to be open to God leading you into those spaces where you will be able to create that community. And I also want to share, if there isn't anybody around you that you can talk to, that can give you that support, you always have God. You can pray to God about that, to to bring people into your life that can give you that love and support that you need. If you are not able to invest in yourself, to speak to a therapist, or to join a program like mine, or to or to see a specialist, just pray about it, because God cares about every single detail in our life. And I would also like to share that, something that, I would encourage, even if you're my client, is that, first thing in the morning, to praise, to first thing in the morning, to play some worship music, for you and your baby, and just to have that playing as you go about your routine with your baby, or your time, where you're nursing your baby, and have pick a Bible verse that resonates with you, that encourages you, and just meditate on that as you listen to the worship music. Because God calls us to renew our minds daily. And the reason why he says that is because he knows that every single day we're battling things in our minds. We're battling negative stuff in our minds. And we constantly have to meditate and focus on the good things so that we can reset our mindset, so that we can, because everything starts in our minds. So, choose one or two Bible verses to meditate on and just play some worship music first thing in the morning before you do anything else, before you go on social media, before, you're bombarded by the demands of life. Just start that day, your morning with the Lord, you and the baby. Just get you into the presence of the Lord so that you can just be ready for the day and just meditate on those Bible verses. So I hope that that this was helpful, and the information to my program is in the description box below if you feel called to book a free call. And I will see you guys next time. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe if you enjoy my content, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hey guys, so I am here because I'm happy to announce that I have a one-on-one coaching program for women who are going through postpartum or who are preparing for postpartum, for their postpartum journey. And why I have this program, because this is a huge life transition. It is the biggest blessing that you'll ever receive in your life, and it is a time where you're full of joy and gratitude for the bundle of joy that you have. But at the same time, it is also a time where you experience some challenges. Believe it or not, becoming a mother, whether you have a lot of support or you're doing it alone, is very challenging. And some of the challenges that as women go through during postpartum, we don't speak out loud because of fear of being judged, being shamed, or being misunderstood. And some of those challenges that we face in our postpartum journey is grief, disappointment, feeling lost, feeling stuck, feeling isolated, and also dealing with anxiety and postpartum depression. This is also a time where you just need that extra support, where you can talk to somebody that can help you and encourage you through the transition, and guide you and coach you during this time. How I know this is because I went through that, being a new mom, having two kids 2 years apart, having to navigate being a mom and rebuilding and regaining myself. And this is why I have this 12-week program called Rebuild and Restore, because this is a time where we are going to work together, rebuilding your confidence, peace, identity, restoring the person that you feel that you lost, and knowing that you didn't lose yourself, but you gained more of yourself. This is a time where you actually now have more to offer the world, not just your baby or your kids, but you have more to offer in your life. You're gaining more in your life. You will work on mindset, emotional well-being, your environment, your lifestyle, nutrition, exercise. This is not where I will be creating a rigid workout plan or meal plan. This is where we will work together to help you recover safely and do things that work out for your life. All plans will be catered to your individual needs. My goal is that by the end of this experience, you are on the road of embodying the woman in Proverbs 31 verse 25, which says, she is clothed with strength and she laughs without fear of the future. It means being a woman with the capacity to endure hardships and overcome life's challenges, that you're able to have a state of calm optimism, confidence, because your life is grounded in faith rather than circumstances. If this is something that you would be interested in investing in for yourself, you can book a free call with me so we can discuss how we can work together in those 12 weeks. Link will be posted below, whether in the description box or in the comment section, depending on which platform you see this video. I hope to see you and have a great day.